Good start from Beko Bernaldi as well. Bernardo do Brasil up into P11 ahead of his Bulgarian teammate for the Trident Motorsport team. Roykov, Zheng and Kostoya as they go racing down into turn one. Commendable from these young drivers. They've kept it clean. They've set the example. If we're honest, we are surprised, but we are impressed. Excellent driving standards here this morning, the first of 4 races. Summer list off from Kilian Bondarev. Down into pit lane, it looks to be Kingsley Zheng. In fact, no, it's Macagnani again. Nicolo is in trouble. The Roman, who was one of the pre-season favourites, the Ferrari junior driver, has pulled into pit lane, as has Andre Rodriguez. Kostoya in the gravel, a crash into the Roche chicane. Kostoya takes avoiding action. It looked to be one of the Trident Motorsport cars. Kostoya has gone on by. We stay green out front. There is a local yellow only into the Roche chicane. This was Macagnani going down through Ascari without the front wing. He's now rejoined, as has Andre Rodriguez. The American back on track. No front wing, and that will save them because the safety car comes out. Dominic Šimek. No, in fact, it's the 73 car. Look at this, Orsini. No, it's George. It's George Proudfoot-Nalder, in fact. GPN from Orange, Australia, has retired with big damage to car 66. Macagnani has rejoined with a new front wing, as has Andre Rodriguez, and they are saved by the belt. Well, the safety car comes back out on track, does Macagnani, Rodriguez. Roykov parked in the middle of the circuit, and George Proudfoot-Nalder is out. Kostoya did superbly well to avoid that incident, and for the first time today, the safety car comes out onto the track here at Monza. It was a good start to the first of 4 races here this weekend. Inevitably, though, the safety car makes what surely will not be its last appearance. It was a good start down into turn 1, a clean start. But George Proudfoot-Nalder, on debut in the Italian Championship, comes together with Dominic Šimek. There's Kostoya into the gravel. Elia Weiss also taking to the sand to avoid. Head of Levian. They've made their way through. This is George. GPN's morning is over. Roykov's car being dragged off to the right side of your screen. Look at the sand and gravel, which has been dragged onto the circuit. A world-class safety team here at Monza, of course, the Italian Formula One Grand Prix to take place here at the Temple of Speed on the first Sunday of September. This is the 3rd round of the Italian F4 Championship. We look for the series leader, Alpac Soy, P9. Gives us a moment to check out the series standings after the first round at Misano on Italy's Adriatic coast. And then just a few weeks ago at Vallelunga, north of the Eternal City of Rome. Coming to Monza for round 3, Alpac Soy, 144 points. Luca Summerlisto, 138 in second. But critically, the Finn looking for the win here this morning. David Cosma Christopher, who will be in action in the second race this afternoon. DCC P3. Robinson, who took his 2nd pole position last evening, will also be on track in A versus D. That's effectively the 2nd race this afternoon. Robinson, 110 points from Savinkov, who's currently P3 on 102, tied with the Dane, David Walter, who's come up to position 8 after starting out of grid 12 for the Maffei Racing team. Car 33, Tomic Agenda going through, one of 2 Hungarians in the field. Bennett Gaspar, also car 85. 2 drivers from, I won't say Eastern Europe, the eastern side of Europe. Of course, with the forthcoming Hungarian Formula One Grand Prix coming up. And just a week ago, the World MotoGP Championship at the world-class new Peloton Park circuit. Genda and Bennett Gaspar down in 22nd and 24th positions respectively. We expect this to be a quick safety car intervention. The track has almost been cleared So they go down the back straight into the Michele Alboreto I'll say that again. The Michele Alboreto Parabolica. The final corner here at Monza. The lights on the safety car. We'll see in just a moment. No word from race control, so we expect one more lap before we go green. Here at Monza, Samuelistol, Kilian Savinkov, and the team of Gerhard Unger and Ralf Schumacher, 1, 2, 3, here at the Temple of Speed. Samuelistol, Kilian Savinkov, Consani, and he's moved up to P4 from Bondarev. Kenzo Craigie, P6, there's Walter going through. Ari Barnsel, just behind Kenzo. Kenzo is the top rookie. Alpaksoy, P9, the second rookie, but we'll be unconcerned with that. He is the outright championship leader, the driver from Istanbul in Turkey. Istanbul Park back on the calendar in the FIA Formula One World Championship in 2027. And of most interest, or of most note, to young Alp, the championship leader also racing next year at Istanbul Park, are both the FIA Formula 2 and Formula 3 championships as well, together with Formula 1. Luba Roykov, the Bulgarian, out. It's a long walk back through the forest here at the Park of Monza, back to the pits. The safety car will come in at the end of this lap. And we will race the second half of race 1 of 4 here at Monza. Confirmation to the bottom left of your screen. Incidentally, Nicolas Cortez up into 16th place. Great start from the Mexican, currently the fastest on circuit with a 153.845. Top speed yesterday in qualifying, 248 kilometers an hour. Here at the Temple of Speed, the 5.7 kilometer circuit. This is Bondi going through P5, car 27. Out of Lesmo 1, this is Lesmo 2. The far part of the circuit. The forest, the park, the public park here at Monza. And surely one of the most famous race circuits in the world, north of the fashion capital, the city of Milan, in the north of Italy. The track temperature, I can tell you, is almost nudging 50 degrees Celsius, 49.6 now. The Pirelli DMA compound tyre trying to come in with around about 1.4 bar of pressure. It is a different compound, which we've used since the start of 2025. Higher tyre pressures running in these cars, in these tyres, I should say, despite the warm conditions here this weekend at Monza. Lucas Samuelistol, the Finn, backs the field up slowly down the back straight. We've had carnage in this situation before. It is walking pace. It is the Finn who will set the pace. I can tell you the green flag is flying now on the start-finish line. The race is now green, but Luca is the race leader, and they cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. Walking pace down the back straight. Okay, a fast walk. Around about 45 kilometers an hour at the moment. The telemetry is telling us they will add 200 kilometers an hour to that in just a moment. As now Samuelistol accelerates and we race once again here at Monza. Noah tries to go with his Finnish teammate, who tries to break the slipstream while we race across the line. Noah down the inside, locks up, goes in deep. He's done it. What a move from the Aussie. Spectacular from Noah. It looked as though he would not make the corner. Potentially has put a massive flat spot on the tyre, but he's gone through to take the race lead. Samuelistol, there's Savinkov. The US racing drivers, the leading trio, 1, 2, 3. Back to Andy Consani, the Mercedes Junior for RSGP. There's Bondarev on the inside of Craigie, another lockup from Noah. Samuelistol back into P3. Into Lesmo 1. The two teammates, Savinkov and Samuelisto. There's Walter on the outside through Lesmo 2. David, the Great Dane, on the charge as we see Andy Consani go on through. Trying to fight with the US Racing duo. There's Behrman, puts the left rear into the gravel. But carries on, does Thomas. Behrman at car 87 in P10. Bondarev on the outside tries to intimidate. Andy Consani, Ari Bansal, they're off into the gravel. Watch Walter try and capitalise. The Dane for the Maffei Racing Team gets the run. There is Bernoldi having a great run here this morning. But out front, Noah Kilion, P1 from Savinkov and Samuelisto. Into the Parabolica. This is Bondarev on the inside. Consani stays with him. There's the Maffei Racing driver, David Walter, who's gone through, but will get the slipstream despite making up those places. So it's Noah from Alexander, Samuelisto, Consani, Bondarev, Craigie, Walter, Aksoy, Alp up to 8 from Barnsell and Bernoldi, now inside the top 10. Costoya, P15, the final points paying position. We can see the orange car of the McLaren Junior from Spain on the outside into the chicane. Ahead of Reckon-Mackay, Cortez, the fastest driver on the circuit. Weiss, Arn, Ruta Martinez and Peyton Westcott. Through La Curva Grande, the big corner as it literally translates as we go into the final 10 minutes of the first of our 4 races here into the Roger chicane. Kilian, Savinkov, Samuelisto. This is Bondarev, car 34, just behind is Kenzo Craigie, KC. Here's the first of the Mercedes Junior drivers for the RSGP team. Andy Consani going through. Split by Bondarev. Niccolo Macagnani, for our Italian fans, has rejoined us. We see one of the PHM drivers going very wide, not lifting, coming out of Lesmo 2. Looked to be Oscar Petel, who's done remarkably well to bring it back on track. As we mentioned, the Roman, Niccolo Macagnani, has rejoined. In fact, it was Martinez. Niccolo Macagnani from pit lane with the new front wing has rejoined. He is still circulating the Ferrari Junior, but way down in position 24. Savinkov will get the tow from Noah Kilian. Samuelisto back to 3. Consani, Bondarev, Craigie, Walter from grid 12. The Great Dane now in 7th place. Kilian tries to break the slipstream. Down into turn 1, into the first chicane. Respect between the two, the 3 teammates. Samuelisto, Luca still in P3. The umbrellas you can see in the grandstand, that is not for the rain, and it certainly won't be here this weekend. The sun beating down here at the Temple of Speed as we see 2 drivers shortcut literally the first chicane. Well, once upon a time, there used to be nothing but sand and gravel there as Andy goes fastest. Too tempting to take the shortcut, which has been noted by race officials. Kilian, Noah with the race lead from Savinkov, Samuelisto, Consani, Bondarev, Craigie, Walter, Aksoy, Barnsell in P9 ahead of what was Thomas Behrman. But I can tell you, Thomas has just made a pit stop for a new front wing. He has rejoined, but he's way down in 30th position. Noah on the inside into the Ascari chicane. Savinkov. This is fabulous racing between the leading duo, the leading trio for the US Racing Team. Costoya on the outside of Augustus Tognolo. As Levi Arn from Switzerland just behind. Elia Weiss, his Jensen Motorsport teammate. They go wheel to wheel down the back straight into the Parabolica. Noah on the inside. Savinkov on the outside in car 17. Luca is catching the both of them. Keep it clean, boys. Gerhard Ungar watching on from pit lane. Former mastermind of the HWA Mercedes AMG team success in the German DTM Touring Car Championship. Now his cars 1, 2, 3 across the line at more than 240 kilometers an hour. Kilian Savinkov, Samuelisto, Consani in the background. Watching this, a slight lock-up and goes straight ahead. Will rejoin. Savinkov. And here's the opportunity for Andy Consani around the outside. Fantastic from Andy. Goes on through. Andy into P3, trying to make it second place. The US Racing drivers, 1, 2, 3, not for long. Andy Consani looking for his maiden breakthrough victory in the Italian F4 Championship. Here comes Bondi. Fabulous fast from Bondarev as well. He's now the top Ukrainian, takes Savinkov. And it's Craigie, Walter, Aksoy, the championship leader. Barnsell, Bernoldi, good drive from Kingsley Zheng, Reckenmacher, the German on debut in the Italian series here at Monza. Levian, Costoya and Nicolas Cortez, the Mexican, in the final points paying position. Despite this, just a moment to go. That was Elia Weiss. In P17 behind Peyton Westcott, who's driving brilliantly. One of 6 drivers racing for the Women's Trophy here this weekend. Peyton also racing in the F1 Academy Series. Peyton Westcott, she's now into P16. Good drive from the Californian, trying to chase down her fellow North American, the Mexican, Nicolas Cortez. Peyton, she's in 16th place. Not too far off this battle as you watch Bernoldi go through. Zheng, Reckenmacher, Levian, Costoya, the McLaren Junior, Cortez, and the Californian Peyton Westcott back to the fight for the front. Walter around the outside fighting with Savinkov. Fabulous racing here at Monza. Bondarev on the inside, they're 3 wide, but the yellow flag is waving. That is not at this part of the circuit. It is at the final corner. We are green as they go through the first chicane into La Curva Grande. Walter, what a move from the Great Dane. David sends it. Fabulous pass. The Dane for the Swiss Mafia Racing Team, but he's passed on the exit. Bondarev fights back. This is turning out to be one of the best races we've seen at Monza in the Italian F4 Series for quite some time. It is still Luca back in P1, Noah in second place, Consani, Bondarev, Craigie, Aksoy, Savinkov as they come out of the Roja chicane. There's Costoya. Oh, we speak too soon. Into the gravel. And out is the pole, Alexander Ruta. It looks to be at Lesmo 1. Alexander Ruta has had a big hit at the far part of the circuit. That looks to be, I'll stand corrected on this, into Lesmo 1 in the dying stages. Just over 3 minutes remaining, but we will have a safety car intervention for Alexander Ruta, who is into the wall and out. So Lucas Samuelisto had just taken the race lead back from his teammate Noah Kilian in second place. And Andy Consani in P3. This is the race leader, Samuelisto, Noah in second. There's Andy. Bondarev P4 from Kenzo Craigie, Alpak Soy. Still the championship leader. Well, he was coming into this round. He's there in P6. Alexander Ruta into the wall. It may well, still trying to work out exactly where it was. Either at Lesmo 1, but there is dust flying out of the parabolic of the final corner. Regardless, Ruta is out along with Luba Roykov from Bulgaria and the series debutant George Proudford-Nalda, who retired car 66 for the Antonelli Motorsport team. So 90 seconds remaining. It looks as though we will finish under the safety car. There is Alexander Ruta. The pole makes his way back to pit lane. He is fine. Lucas Samuelisto with the race lead, unless we get a 1-lap sprint to the checkered flag. it will be a safety car finish here at Monza. Samalisto, Kilian, Konsani, Bondarev, Craigie, Aksoy, Savinkov, Barnsell, Bernaldi, Kingsley Zheng, Simon Breaker-Macker in P11 from Arne, Costoya, Cortez, and Peyton Westcott, potentially with the final point that is made redundant before I can finish the sentence because news from race control. Safety car in this lap. We will race green. That is fantastic work from the team at Monza. Safety car in this lap. So it is not over yet. We will have a one-lap sprint to the checkered flag. Race 1, round 3 at the Temple of Speed, the Italian F4 Championship. Luca from Noah, Konsani, Bondarev, Craigie, Aksoy, the second rookie, 6th outright, is the championship leader. Safety car in this lap. The Finn to take the win. Or can the Australian who won last year's Australian F4 Championship for the AGI Sport team based at Sydney Motorsport Park, formerly known simply as Eastern Creek. Noah, who was fastest in his qualifying group yesterday. And don't discount Andy Konsani. P3, car 30. The French Mercedes AMG Junior. We have just passed the 25-minute mark as the field come out of Ascari. Lucas Samalisto, watch him back the field up once again. He got a brilliant restart last time round. The safety car comes through the parabolic, now it is about to turn into pit lane. The green flag is flying now on the start-finish line, not at the back part of the circuit. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. The race is green. It will be a one-lap sprint to that checkered flag. Race 1, round 3, the Italian F4 Championship here at the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, the world's most competitive junior car racing series, presented by the Automobile Club of Italy together with WSK Promotion, and you're about to find out why. The Finn from the Australian, the Frenchman in third. Samalisto leads the field around through the parabolica. He waits. It will be a one-lap sprint to the checkered flag here at Monza. Still does not go. Just repeating, they cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. Does not want to give the slipstream at more than 240 kilometres an hour. They will not top that as they come out of the parabolica slowly. Samalisto dictates the pace. He's in first place. He can do exactly that. The green is flying now. Samalisto goes, and we race. We sprint to the checkered flag here at Monza. Fabulous restart from Samalisto. Breaks the toe from Kilian, who's now under attack from Andy Konsani. AC in P3 from Bondarev, Craigie, Aksoy, Savinkov. As they scatter down into turn 1, look at the lead from Lucas Samalisto. Credit to Noah Kilian, who does make the corner, puts the effort to actually go round the right side of the track. But it's all come to an end for Andy Konsani. The Frenchman is out. Andy Konsani, who was in position 2, retires on the final lap of the race. He's also taken out one of the Prema Racing drivers, or that may well be the other way around. It's Bondarev. Bond, he's out as well. It is kicking off in the dying stages. Ari Barnsell shortcuts the Roja chicane. Lucas Samalisto on his way to victory here this morning. Costoya goes through, now up into P12 from Macagnani. What a comeback from the Roman into the gravel. It was an RSGP car. They're driven so well thus far. But it is all kicking off in the dying stages. The US Racing drivers, 1-2. Macagnani has recovered to be in P13. Oscar Repetto was into the gravel. As we see one of the Trident drivers trying to bring it home. Gendo into the gravel, but out front it will be the Finn who takes the win. Lucas Samalisto started grid 2, This is his Australian teammate who started pole position, but out of the final corner, that checkered flag will wave. Luca, the Finn, takes the win. Samalisto wins a fabulous first race here this morning at Monza. It's an us racing 1-2. Noah crosses the line second. Casey in 3. That's Craigie Aksoy. Alp comes home P4. That's why he's the championship leader from Barnsill. Savinkov into the gravel. It was Thomas on the final lap of the race. He did rejoin after making a pit stop. Incredibly, only misses the points by 2 positions. Lucas Samalistol has won the race, but we are being told by race control the race restart procedure is under investigation. Wow. This is the race winner, Lucas Samalistol. Noah Killian second, Craigie Aksoy, Barnsill. Savinkov, great drive from Levian to P7 from Kingsley Zhang. Simon Reckenmacher, Costoya. That's better from the highly rated Spaniard. Cortez, Weiss. Macagnani, what to drive to come home 13th from Dominic Schimek. And Rodriguez. Andre, who is in the pits at the end of the first lap, takes the final position in the points in 15th place. Andy Konsani, Bondarev into the chicane, the final lap. Konsani beached in the sand. Bondarev into the wall. The Mercedes and Williams Juniors are out. Benny going straight ahead. Does finish in P24 ahead of Oscar Repetto. Unfortunately, Peyton Westcott, well, she was in a points-paying position, but has crossed the line down in 26th position. Konsani out, Bondarev out, Walter also out on the final lap. Ruta, Roykov, and George Proudford-Nalder. 6 retirements from what was a highly entertaining race here at Monza. Samalistol takes the race win. It's an us racing 1-2 to kick the weekend off here this morning at Monza. This is Luca, car 7. Incidentally, just behind Andre Rodriguez. Fabulous performance for the Grand Motorsport team driver from Colorado in the United States of America. He never lost the faith that he would come carving through. He was in the pits at the end of the first lap, and from the back of the grid comes home in the final points-paying position. Great drive from Andre. Luca takes the victory from Noah, and Kenzo Craigie P3 and the rookie win. Alp, the championship leader in P4 from Barnsill. Savinkov, Levian, Kingsley Zhang, Reckenmacher, Costoya, Nicolas Cortez. From Elia Weiss, Macagnani, great comeback from the Roman. Dominic and Andre Rodriguez in P15. The driver from the United States of America for Grand Motorsport from pit lane, from the back of the grid, picks up a point with 15th place here this morning. Heartbreak for his countrywoman, the Californian Peyton. She was in 14th with a lap to go, but crosses the line down in 26th position. Tough debut for George, out after just a handful of laps. We'll try and get a word, as ever, with the race winner, Lucas Samalito, who comes down into pit lane on a very warm morning here at Monza. Kenzo's car to the left of your screen. The French-Jamaican Brit, the Mercedes Junior for the RHGP team from the very west of France. And the team from Cologne, our outside, in Germany, take victory with their Finnish driver here this morning. Lucas Samalisto wins race 1 here at the Temple of Speed. Kenzo Craigie starts grid 7 but comes home on the podium to finish in third. From Noah in second, the race winner is Luca Samalisto, who's speaking with Lauda.
So look, a victory that was far from guaranteed. Congratulations. A tough race and a tough home match as well.
Yeah, I mean, the race were quite hectic, to be honest. There was a lot of racing and also my own small mistakes. I dropped to P3, I think, one lap after the safety car restart, and just managed to stay P3 and trying to fight my way again to the top. And I think the pace were quite okay, not the best at this moment, but we managed to catch Noah and Alex and managed to overtake both, and then just did my own stuff. Then we had another safety car and did a good restart. Like on the first one, also the restart were quite good. And then just won the race, and really happy about it, and big thanks for the US racing team for the mega effort. And yeah, also big thanks to my sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Noah Killian started from pole position. The Sydney sider raced down into turn 1. It was a clean start. These young drivers did impress us, getting away cleanly with the exception of Dominic Šimek, who stalled on the grid. The US racing drivers 1, 2, 3 in the early stages before Kenzo Craigie and Andy Consani broke up the party, as did Alexander Bondarev. Ultimately, though, the Ukrainian would finish in the wall in a heartbreaking start to the weekend. Safety car coming out to avoid, or for Dominic Šimek, as Kostoy did avoid. Spinning car 73, Roykov, in fact it was. Back green, and it was the US racing drivers 1, 2 and 3. Killian, Samalistol and Alexander Savinkov racing down the start-finish straight here at Monza at more than 240 kilometres an hour, as David Walter was carving up through the field from grid 12 up into 7th place. Alexander Ruta into the wall. It was a one-lap sprint to the checkered flag. A brilliant restart from Samalistol, but that is under investigation. He raced away to take the provisional victory, and then this. Into the wall goes Bondarev as Luca takes the victory, and is surely now one of the favourites for the 2026 Italian F4 Championship. He wins race 1 here at Monza. So this is the championship standings. We can see Luca Samalistol has now overtaken Albak Soy, just 4 points in it. David Cosma Christopher, DCC, still P3 in the series. He'll be on track for race 2 later today, round 3 of the Italian Championship. The second race will take place at 5:30 local time, so almost exactly 5 hours from now. Make sure you catch all the action live around the world. From the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, great to have your company if it's late at night, if it's early in the morning, combining this Achi racing weekend, no doubt with watching the FIFA World Cup. At times, some of us quite disappointed this morning. Lucas Samalistol from Finland takes the victory.
Partiamo con la consegna dei trofei dal terzo classificato Kenzo Craigie, tutti i trofei consegnati per mano di Giancarlo Minardi, consigliere delegato di AC Sport. La seconda posizione.
Kenzo Craigie, P3. This is Noah in second, and the great Mr. Giancarlo Minardi presents the race-winning trophy to Lucas Samalistol. The Finn takes the win here at Monza.
Grazie alla vettura preparata dal team US Racing. Partiamo dunque con l'inno nazionale finlandese. Applausi. And please stand
The
for
new
pictures.
championship leader wins race 1. It's Luca Samalisto on the top step of the podium in the centre of your screen. He wins it from Noah Gillian and Kenzo Craigie KC in P3. 4 points now separates Luca Samalisto from Al Baksoy.
To celebrate.
The second race of the weekend at 5:30 local time here at Monza. We'll see you then.